Hey everyone, welcome to a special edition of Extra Time TV. This is Andres Soklana. Today, we're going to speak about the Copa America and specifically Argentina. But I'm not alone on the set. I have, all the way from Italy, Miguel Romeo, our Argentine correspondent who's playing his football in Italy right now. And also joining us, Sivan John, our Argentinian expert, the guy who has many blogs, many articles, so many that I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to check that out. He is the guy to speak to when it comes to Argentina. And these two guys are the right guys. So we're going to head straight into the topic. Miguel, what do you think about Argentina's performance so far? It hasn't been great. A lot of people have high expectations of Argentina, especially with the return of Leo Messi. You know, they struggle to get out of the group. What do you think about their performance in the group so far?
Hey Andre, thanks for having me again on the show. Like always, say hello to everybody back in Trinidad. All my love to them. Now getting straight to about Argentina and the Copa America now going on. I think the main problem is not the consistency. In 12 games, if I'm not mistaken, Scaloni made or set up 12 different teams. And this, I think, is the main thing. It's not giving the players are getting comfortable with each other, even though at that level they should be. But you gotta give them some time together. You gotta give them some of the new guys. I think De Paul is doing very well. Some other guys are not doing well. Copa America for me is not a time to try all these things. You gotta try them before. Even though national team, of course, they don't have much time together. But as the national team coach, you gotta have tried these things before. Other than that, I think hopefully they will do better now. Friday coming up against Venezuela. So let's hope, man. I know you're a big Argentina fan as well, so let's hope.
So Sivan, what do you think about Argentina's performance in the group so far?
Hello everyone of Extra Time TV, my name is Sivan. I want to talk about Argentina's journey so far in the Copa America. We'll start from their last game against Qatar. It seems like for the first time that Scaloni has managed to find perhaps the best lineup that he can choose from. I was very impressed with the midfield between Lo Celso, Paredes and of course De Paul. They seem to function pretty good well. I love the fact that Messi was playing behind the front too, because on many occasions when he drops deep, he seems to be the player who needs to score the goals, but on this occasion he's playing more of a provider. And of course, I was very happy with the partnership of Lautaro Martinez and Agüero. For the first time ever, we're seeing Agüero scoring the kind of goals that we are so used to seeing doing it at Man City. So it's all falling into place for Scaloni at the moment. It seems like the team is peaking at the right time. But of course, in that game, if you look at it, it wasn't really Messi's best performance. In fact, he was pretty much, sort of like a non-effective player on that day. But nevertheless, the good thing was, the rest of the team stepped up, and I can only look at it from a positive perspective, even though, yes, the opponent of the day was Qatar. But let's not take anything away from them. They are champions of Asia. They managed to snatch a draw against Paraguay and push Colombia all the way. So it was definitely a positive result for Argentina moving to the quarterfinals.
So on a quick side note, a lot of people have been speaking about Brazil versus Argentina like it's a foregone conclusion, like the Venezuela and Paraguay game don't exist. I mean, a lot of people have not seen how well Paraguay have been performing and Venezuela have been performing. Is this a reflection of how the Argentina camp or the Brazilian camp see things? Is this a media thing? Do you think the Argentinians are guilty of this? Miguel, I'll start with you. Do you think the Argentinian camp is guilty of this? And what are your thoughts about the media sort of almost speaking about the next game like it's a foregone conclusion?
Well, to be honest, I don't think that we should get ahead of ourselves. Great question, because a lot of people are already talking about Brazil or Paraguay in the next game. I think that's a big mistake. Nobody should take anybody lightly nowadays. Anybody can beat anybody, and they should take the right approach, focus, concentrate like it was playing Brazil, like it is a final, or else we won't get to the final. As simple as that.
Sivan, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the teams are being premature? Is this something with the media? Do you think this is something Argentina is guilty of?
Okay, let's focus a little bit more. Let's just assume that if Argentina does make it to the semi-finals, awaiting them, of course, is going to be the home team, Brazil or Paraguay. Well, I think most likely I would anticipate that, it's going to be Brazil. To be honest, at this point of time, I can't see Argentina going beyond that because as much as I think everything is falling into the right place for Scaloni at the right time, but I think it's just going to be a little bit too late to expect this team to perform exceptionally beyond the exceptional best because Brazil at home will definitely they want to put behind the 2014 World Cup disaster. They definitely want to win something on home soil. So I can see there's a lot of pressure on them, but somehow or other I think I can't see them faltering against Argentina in the semi-final. That is perhaps if both teams make it to the semi-finals. Even before the tournament kicked off, my best bet for Argentina was, the most I can think of was a quarterfinal. So I think they fulfilled that expectation. Anything above this is just a bonus. So it remains to be seen where the Scaloni team goes from here.
So now going back to the actual game itself, Argentina versus Venezuela. What do you guys think about the approach to the game? Miguel, what do you think this Argentinian team, Lionel Scaloni, Leo Messi, what do you think they need to do and how do you think they need to approach this game?
Well, like we were talking before, I think that consistency is key. They gotta, how to put it? I would say relax a bit in the sense of not let the pressure of being Argentina, one of the big teams, even though we're not favorites in a long time, but relax. Those players obviously can play, man. They are the best. Most of them are the best at their own team, and it's just I think that the pressure of coming to play for the national team with the big name of Argentina on their back and all of that put an extra pressure for some of the new ones. For the older ones or the ones with more experience, they need to obviously try to calm down these let's call them nerves, even though they aren't. But I think the big teams have more pressure than the smaller teams. The smaller teams, I think, are really getting very, very well prepared. And this is not disrespecting them, calling them smaller teams, but it's just the matter of the fact. They're getting very, very well prepared and studying the bigger teams and the bigger players a lot more than the bigger teams are studying the smaller countries and players, which is to me making the whole of a difference because now anybody can beat anybody, and there isn't anymore big teams and small teams, big players and small players. Of course, the big players can make the difference when the time comes, but overall, it's not like it used to be that just because you have Maradona back in the day, just because you have Messi now, is gonna mean that you're gonna win everything. It's not like that anymore. Obviously, as we can see, we struggle just like anybody else struggles. But they make it count when it's Argentina a lot more than when the other teams struggle. I think overall that would be it. Just relax and play. It's not like there are no players, that are at that level for a reason.
Sivan, what are your thoughts? What do you think Argentina and Lionel Scaloni needs to do in this particular game?
Now about the quarterfinal, I think it's fair to say that against Venezuela, Argentina will not be starting the match as the favorites. It's shocking, but that's the reality. Things have changed a lot. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe yes, definitely Argentina will be expected to breeze through. But this Venezuelan team is a different beast altogether. When you look at their goalkeeper, Farines, he's definitely the kind of player that I think can give trouble to every single Argentina's attempt to attack on their goal. And of course, in Salomon Rondon, the Newcastle striker, they have found the perfect match winner against an Argentina defense that is still fragile and very unpredictable, especially when you have someone like Nicolas Otamendi right there, who can be the biggest kryptonite for Scaloni's team. So what can I say is that I would prefer that Scaloni maintains the same team. Perhaps the only interesting change that I think we can look forward to is Juan Foyth playing at right back, a position which apparently he did pretty good well for Tottenham Hotspur. So perhaps that could be the only change I would like to expect, although there is news going around that Marcos Acuna could also be starting in midfield ahead of Lo Celso. So it remains to be seen. But how much am I confident about this game? Well, I'm an optimist, but I think it's not going to be an easy game for Argentina. I think they will be tested. There's going to be trouble on their end, and the defense really need to step up their game. If anything less, I would say a slim win, perhaps a 1-0 or a 2-1 win for Argentina. But I wouldn't be surprised it might even go to penalties. But definitely, this is one game that, I'm going to be on the... as fans of Argentina, we are all going to be on the edge throughout the game for 90 minutes.
So there you have it, folks, from the experts himself, Miguel Romeo, all the way from Italy, our Argentine correspondent. He has played football in the Caribbean, Canada, and also in Italy. And Sivan John, the guy who knows everything you need to know about Argentina. He's an Argentinian expert all the way from Malaysia. He has many blogs. I'll put those in the description below. So once again, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Also, before you guys go, don't forget to like and subscribe in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have a particular game or topic you would like us to discuss? There are no limits. Put it in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to click that little notification bell, because when you do that, when you get videos from Extra Time TV, it immediately pops up on your feed. So once again, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we hope you guys and gals enjoy the Copa America. I hope you all enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, because if you don't, a baby puppy cries.